Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I'm traveling home from going to do labs, and one of the first things I saw was somebody just now, was in the turning lane, the light, and this lane was green, turned right out in front of a truck that was traveling about 45, an SUV. And I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, we're going to have a big accident. They came real close. Real close. You know, it's 8:47 a.m. And I know a lot of people are rushing to get to work, but is it worth your life and the other people's lives? Seriously. Okay, wouldn't you know, I missed my turn, but I missed my turn. It was kind of strange because I know where it is, but it was just so much traffic. I couldn't see that was my turn. I'm serious, that much traffic. And where I wanted to go get something to eat. Wow, that's a big truck coming right at me. They were making a turn. But anyway, on my way to the appointment, the first clip was about somebody bad driving again, then too. And that one was at a school zone. I mean, the school was right there, and the parent was dropping, or whomever was dropping off the child. Where they were parked right there where it says do not do that right there. It was on the side of the school, and it says they have signs everywhere right there. It's been there for I don't know how many months. Different, signs all on both sides. Do not drop off kids here. But that person, nope, they were entitled. They could do what they want. And then the person did a U-turn right there to go the other way. Right there. I don't know if I can do this, but I'm doing it. Yeah, I can do this. What am I saying? I don't know I can. Unless, of course, I missed it. I've done that before, so hello, wake up. I missed my turn, and now I'm debating that. But anyway, oh my goodness. But anyway, the person did a U-turn. See, I'm telling you, I'm going to do a whole video about, maybe I'll do it on this one, about whenever you're tested by your own yardstick, okay, like this right here. Do a UE in the place where you're not supposed to, but yeah, you can there. Last I recall. Anyway, okie dokie. But anyway, the distraction because there's somebody next to me. By the way. Anyway, so they were at a school zone, they're going this direction, and they did the U-turn to go in a school zone, parked where they're not supposed to drop off a child, where they're not supposed to. I keep saying that, where they're not supposed to. But they were entitled. And they did the U-turn in front of me, who was coming down that direction. Yeah. Just did it right in front of me. So therefore, that meaning I have to stop for them to complete their U-turn. There's a street with just two lanes. I'm like, wow, such entitlement. Just such entitlement. Okay, my order was, I ordered something different. I want a soda, but no soda. I just want the flavor that they put in there. And because I cannot drink caffeine, and they don't have soda with caffeine, I bring one with me. You heard me opening I call it I don't know what you call these. The brand is Ozark Trail. It's a little cooler, or maybe a thermal cooler, something like that. Anyway, bring my own soda and put it in there. Okay, anyway, I'm giving so much detail, but wouldn't you have wondered, what is she unzipping? Anyway, judge by my own yardstick. And it happens, it's happened to me my whole life, which I kind of wonder why. Why does, I don't hear other people talk about it, you know, but I remember hearing that when I was young. It's a Christian thing, isn't it? That judge not, lest you be judged. Something along that line. And I was raised very Christian. I was raised with truly holy people. I am serious. Since then, I have not seen people like that. Truly holy. These are the types who are holy every day. They're not Christians on Sunday, and back then it was Wednesday after, you know, Wednesday evening, people went to church, and they weren't just Christians at those times and then hellraisers the rest of the week. They really weren't. You know, we had ours. You know, nothing is perfect, but just like one family that was having a rough time, and something like that. But they were truly Christian. Now, there's a whole one separate video as it is, but yeah, judge not lest you be judged. I wonder if that's my order. I don't think so. Somebody's getting a bunch of ice. I should do that. I like their ice at Sonic, really do. But anyway, this has happened to me pretty much my whole life, and I'll point it out to myself. Okay, see there, you were judgmental about something. Now you're being tested. How are you going to do on it? It's usually something similar. Now I remember this woman. She was not exactly right on this. She liked to use those little common things like if people say, I don't believe in this common sense stuff, because the common sense is just what you think it is, and that others around you are supportive of the way you look at it. And they have the same view. That doesn't make it logical sense. I'm a logical sense person. Okay, you know. So anyway, okay, I got my food, but anyway, yeah, you know, so knowing that ever since I was young, as far back as I can remember at least, that I'm going to be judged by my own yardstick, okay? And so whatever I complain about, whatever I'm judgmental about with other people, it's not really a judgmental thing. It's you know, judgmental can mean so many things. Like, some people are judgmental because they get a kick out of it. You know, they want to put everybody down and make themselves look superior. That's not me. It's when something is actually wrong. You know, if a person turns out in front of you, almost runs you off the road, that's wrong. They should not do that. You know, they were in the wrong. Okay, that kind of wrong is the way I'm looking at it. But in the same sense, I'm going, okay, what about me? You see, do I do something like that? You know, we all make mistakes, so yeah. But the other kind of people are the ones who, they're sitting around waiting for, you know, anybody to make some kind of mistake, and then they're going to tell the whole world, and they're going to start laughing. Oh, look at this person. They did this wrong. And they just get a kick out of it. And it might have just been a person misspoke, mispronounced a word, something like that. They're sitting around waiting on it. That's what I mean by the other type. Okay, I probably should go a little deeper into that, because then they're going to find something that person did wrong. They're going to go and tell everybody and say, oh, then they're going to elaborate the way they want the person to be seen as, you know, that they're superior to that person. And they say, yeah, you know what that means. Yeah. Then they're very judgmental about everything that person does. And then other people become that way. You get what I'm saying, right? Anyway, because I've been dealing with people who are very, very judgmental. They're looking for something. And, but yeah. Okay. Now here's something I was thinking about. You know, I mentioned in the video I just wrapped up. I don't think I mentioned in this one so far, but we were talking about this again yesterday. And the way I put it was, you know, when somebody does something wrong on the road and you need to honk at them because, hey, you know, you're going to hurt somebody that way. That these days it's more like the person who would honk at them is in the wrong. You know, and you shouldn't be telling anybody. That's wrong. That in and of itself is wrong, because that person might continue and, like I said, cause somebody some problem. Why are you going so slow? But really, like an example is, like, see these two, you know, this is not a good example right here. That's not a good way to show it, but there's a road down here, and this happened to me just the other day. There's a road that has 3 lanes that go forward, and then they have two turning lanes like this. The turning lanes, let's just leave that out, but the other one has 3 lanes going forward, and has 3 lanes on this side. So 3 lanes right in front of it. But they messed up whenever they built that. It's just skewed a little bit. Okay, it doesn't really, the lanes just don't go straight like you would think. Very little bit. I mean, but if you're there and you see those other 2 lanes next to you were turning lanes, you're in the far left one, somebody's in the middle, and somebody else is in the far right one. You got 3 lanes going forward. Where do you go? You go to the far left one. You're in the far left one, you go straight, you're still going to be in the far left one. But no, like Adam said, he's done it before. The way it's skewed just a little bit, he has actually gotten confused. Where am I supposed to go? And took the middle one. And he was confused. So the thing about it is, people who are in that middle lane, that they have to move over to avoid that person. The person next to them in the far right lane is going to have to move over, and then they will go right off the road. And that's these right off the roads is like you're going to go down a hill. Okay, you're going to get hurt. Chances are you're going to get hurt. And so no, people, you know, Adam, he admitted he was wrong. You have to pay attention and stuff like that. We all have problems. We're not perfect. I know it. But if somebody honks at that person, if that person just goes and nobody says it, nobody points it out, hey, you know, you just ran out in front of me. I was the first person at that light in the middle. And he ran right out in front of me. I'm going, he's going, and he ran right in front of me. So I honked. Let him know, you were doing wrong. Now, if nobody tells him, hey, you're doing wrong, what is he going to do the next time? And he could kill somebody. Like I said, you know, it's right there. It just goes right off the road. So somebody needs to say, hey, you know. Okay. Anyway, I just passed it. And you see how these go off right here? Yeah. You might not survive it. That back there is full of these woods. Okay, this is a nature preserve, so yeah, that would not be good. So somebody needs to warn them. You know, that's not being judgmental. It's saying, hey, you could literally kill somebody, if not more than one, by not paying attention. Okay, that's an example. Like I said, we're all human. We make mistakes. If somebody points out that mistake, it's going to be, to me, a better chance that it's going to be remembered. So don't do that again. You know, my degrees are in psychology and sociology, so I was a career student over 20 years, taught at college and university. So yeah, I would say, you know, somebody points out, whoa, you know, that honk, beep, beep, you would think twice the next time. Maybe. Some people are so stubborn they think they're right no matter what. We all know that. And anyway. But the woman, for some reason I was thinking woman. I don't know. Maybe it was something I saw as I was driving up there. Yeah, probably. Because it's a long road, and I was coming up, and I'm like, really? Right in front of the school where it says, do not drop off the kids. That's exactly it. Yeah. So somebody was dropping them off, so I must have seen a woman. There you go. Anyway. Did I say must have saw? Must have seen? Yeah. Okay. Anyway. But I had my breakfast. It was a good burrito at Sonic. Ultimate, what was it called? Ultimate meat and cheese. And they're $4.99 there for just a sandwich. I got the meal though. It was good. It was real good. And yeah, it was ultimate. Oh, my laughter today. Okay, see those signs right there? Right here was where this person, well, they used to have a whole bunch more. And then they did a U-turn right here. And I was coming from that direction. Like, really now? So, yeah. But hey, they're entitled to do whatever they want, so they think they're wrong. But anyway, I'll sit here for a second. I don't know if I mentioned on this channel, but I recently got a whole new set of new tires. A whole set of new tires. Total. Adam went and got them. And it was $1,005.56. And wow. And hopefully me parking like this on this side. One time I got a nail, and I think it was from parking on this side. Well, you know, the other side is you're going to park anywhere here. Parking on the other side, going this direction and pointing. That's wrong. Might as well make this all about driving stuff. Last I heard it was wrong. You know, one of the things I've noticed consistently over years is that driving hasn't really changed. Driving rules, laws, whatever. It's never really changed. Seriously. And, I mean, think about why it wouldn't ever change. They didn't have it wrong in the first place. And it doesn't have to change on the whim of other people. It's going to be the same. Same across different states. You know, there's the social this or that, but that's not legal. So, like the social slow lane, I've never known a place that has something that says this lane is slower. You know, this is the slow lane. So, you know, you can look online, it says there's no such thing. So anyway. But yeah, I think I'll wrap this up. I couldn't get to sleep last night. Having appointments early in the morning, just not good for me. So